Hello, people of YouTube, people of internet, and people of world. It is me, the Classic Juan, coming to you from inside of my mobile studio with my good friend, Mega Man. There he is right there. So today, I kind of wanted to talk about the future and how it regards to the classic. I know, a little confusing. We'll get there. So, I have kids. I actually have two kids. They're little. They are not yet a video game playing age. But a lot of you from our nostalgic generation do have kids that are a video gaming age. And so what I'm about to talk about is going to come in multiple parts because there's a lot of depth to this topic. And I probably won't cover it all on my channel. But we'll try to get through the bulk of it. But you people with the kids that can play video games, I swear to God, if I find one of you who has bought your child an Xbox, I will shake my finger furiously at your face. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You can't do that to kids. If we've been doing it all along. Actually, y'all have been doing it all along. I haven't done it at all, and I don't plan on doing it at all. So, for now that you know, stop. And here's why. Whenever our kids learn something new, how do they learn it? Do we just give them to start where we have left off? Like I have a professional degree. I went to 4 years of college and 4 years of professional school. So should my kids start at professional school level? No. You don't start off where the last generation left off. You have to learn the fundamentals to begin. You don't teach your kid how to read, give them a book about the ABCs and how to say cat and dog and run. And okay, you got that down. Here, let me give you the art of war. Or, Tolstoy or Alexander Dumas or some great piece of literary work. No, you don't do that. Why? Because you have to have the fundamentals of the language before you could even begin to comprehend some complex story structure like that. Okay? First, you got to understand that you can see, spot, run. Once you see, spot, run, then you can see, spot, run after the ball. And so on and so forth until you get to read books like The Count of Monte Cristo and all those other great literary works. My point is, you can't give your kid your iPad or your iPhone or whatever electronic device that you use. I'm not an iPhone person, BT dubs. You can't give your kid that. Let them play their silly little games. And once they get to be 6 or 7 years old, be like, you need a video game console. Here's an Xbox One. Just no. You got to build up to that. Start with the fundamentals. What's the fundamentals? Mario. Here's how you move. Here's how you jump. You get a flower. You can throw fireballs. That's the basic. Start with that. If that's still too much, Pac-Man. Here's how to move. You eat a ball. You can eat the dudes. I mean, start with the simple stuff and build your kids up. Build your kids up to the complex gaming, the complex story, the complex structure of, controller mapping. Okay? You can't start there. That's a terrible place to start because you destroy your kids' understanding of history because then they underappreciate what they have because they don't understand the history of how it became what it is, which is critical. Number two, you don't build any good fundamentals for understanding gameplay. You don't build the ideology of there could be a pattern here. There could be a very specific timing to this. Hell, sometimes patience is all that you need to get through something, but they don't have that understanding. For me, if you don't understand how to, in a 2D side-scrolling game, if you have not yet mastered the technique of jumping from a stationary platform to a moving platform that just appears like it's way too far to jump to, then you are not a real gamer. You are a poser. Yeah, that's right, I said it. If you don't have that skill, that's a fundamental skill. That is the same as saying, if you don't know how to say the vowels independently in the alphabet without saying any consonants in between, you don't know the English language. It is the same. That skill is that important to me. Why? Because there is so much about understanding spatial reasoning that goes into that, foresight that goes into that, actual timing of physical button pressing, understanding the reaction time of yourself and of the machine that you're playing that goes into doing something like that, that is going to progress through your entire gaming life. And if your kid doesn't have that skill, then they're just button mashing. I'm sorry, but that's what they're doing. They're button mashing. So, skills are there to be learned. Fundamentals are important. Teach your kid that. Teach your kid those fundamentals. Start with that. Nintendo, Genesis, Atari, that's where you start. Then you build up. My kids will learn through a steady progression of games. They will get Mario. They will get Mega Man. They will get Zelda. And their final exam will be Contra. And if my kid can pass Contra, I don't expect them to. I expect them to fail 100 times, and once they fail exactly 100 times, then I'll say, okay, you win. You win by failing a Contra. But if they pass Contra, then I've done my job as a parent teaching my gamer children to game properly, because I can't pass Contra and they are better than me. So teach your kids mathematically, teach your kids logically, make them better gamers if that's your intention. If you have no desire to raise your child as a gamer and you're just kind of throwing things out there, know this: you're probably giving your kid ADHD. But we will get to that topic next week. So for now, teach your kid the fundamentals of gaming. So until next week, guys, keep it classic.